Welcome to Kingdom Talk with your host and master life coach, Dr. Shalundia Bell. Tune in to get your prescription for kingdom living from the doctor. Join us now.
Wow. Put your hands together. Put your hands together. OMG. I am super excited, you guys, this evening. I have an amazing guest here with us this evening here on Kingdom Talk. I met her a year ago. I am so excited, you guys. She is an awesome woman of God. She is so talented in so many areas, but most of all, she is a dynamic woman of God, and I'm excited to have her this evening here on this platform. Oh my God, I would like to introduce to some and present to others, Dr. Veronica Walters, aka Dr. V. Welcome, Dr. V. How are you doing this evening?
Hey, Dr. Shalundia, I am super excited to be here hanging out with you.
Awesome. Well, we have some great information, you guys, that we want to share with you all this evening. But first, what I need for you all to do is go ahead and share this out. I know that you may be going through some things right now. You may have a friend or family member that may be going through some things as well. But guess what? We have someone here this evening that's going to help you shift to that next place. And she's going to explain the whole process of why are we shifting? Why shift? Why is a shift necessary? Well, guess what, guys? You are in for a treat this evening. Dr. V is going to break it down for us. So remember, go ahead and share this out. We are here every Friday, you guys. We want to make sure you get the awesome prescription for kingdom living, because there are some things that God is doing in the kingdom, and we want to make sure that you stay steadfast on knowing exactly what it is He has for us to do in this time, in this hour. Well, I see you guys are sharing this out. Go ahead and share this out. Hello. I see we got Miss Ann on the mic tonight. Go ahead and share this out, Miss Ann, with your friends and family. I'm excited, you guys. God is just up to some things this evening. I cannot wait. OMG. Just go ahead and share this out. Okay, Dr. B, we're going to go ahead and get started. I'm excited. I know God is going to do some tremendous things this evening, and I just don't want anyone to miss out. I'm excited. I don't want anyone to miss out on this opportunity tonight. So go ahead and share this out. Well, the first thing I want to know from you, because I seen you touch on this a little bit early in the month, or maybe it might have been last month. I was like, oh my God, that is so awesome. I was like, people need to hear this. People need to understand why the shift is so important. So I was like, you know what? Dr. V got to come on here. She got to come on here. She got to break this thing down. She got to break this thing down to the people so they can know what's going on in the kingdom. What is God up to? So you guys don't forget to go ahead and share this, but I'm going to go ahead and get started. So the first thing I want to ask you, Dr. V, is why shift? What does that mean? What does the shift mean?
Well, this is the thing about the shift. The shift means different things to different people, but it always means change.
Yes.
The shift means different things to different people, but it always means change. It means there's a change in your location, your mindset, your spirit, your being, your movement. There is a change that's happening at some level in your life. And the reality is, the problem with the shift is we don't like change. We don't like it.
And change ain't change until we change.
That part right there. Wow. And that's the key. You know, we don't want to make a shift because the shift means that we're going to lose some things, some
Yes,
places, and some people.
exactly.
But it's
Wow.
necessary.
Wow, it's definitely necessary. Now, when I look at shift, I look at it as a spiritual transformation because we're moving from one place to another in whatever it might be, your physical, your emotional, your spiritual walk, whatever, but it's one place to another. And that is sometimes make be kind of difficult for most of us because we get used to the norm, we get used to the things that we're used to basically. So God began to stretch us and move us from that norm to the unnormal, from that thing that is no longer normal to us. We kind of get reluctant and we kind of, we like, I'm not ready for that, especially if it's unknown. We definitely like pull
Right.
back to like that's something new. And I'm just like, okay, God, whatever the shift is you have for me right now, God, I just want to be obedient and do it. And so when I seen that, when you were speaking on that information on why shift, I believe that was very, very necessary because a lot of people don't understand the shift is necessary. The
It's
shift is very
necessary.
necessary to take you to your next place in God and also to take you in your next place in your journey because your journey is your journey and can't nobody do anything about your journey, but you just have to be obedient and be steadfast and move when God says move. Now, when we say your transformation journey, um, could you break that down more? Because I know a lot of people don't understand, like, as far as their journey. Like, I know God may give you some cues, but what are some things that you may think? Because I know sometimes you may go through an emotional distress. There are some things that happen to, yes, there are some things that goes on in your head, your mind, your body. You're looking like, God, what is up? What is you doing? So explain that process to us as well.
So this is the thing, and I can talk about this because I'm going through another level of shifting right now. For the past 2 weeks, like God has been taking me on a spiritual healing journey, right? It is a whole transformation that goes all the way back to my childhood, deals with relationships and the root of why my relationships have not worked. See, at the end of the day, we can continue to do the same things over and over again. But if we'll stop and take a moment and allow God to give us some spiritual healing and insight for transformation, if I will,
Yes, yes,
spiritual healing and information for transformation, shift, right?
right,
Spiritual healing and information for transformation. We can use that information in order to get us from where we are to where he needs us to be. So when I think of the transformation process, I'll just kind of talk a little bit about how this process has worked for me. First of all, you have to be aware that there's a problem. You got to be aware that there's a problem. You got to know that something's off kilter, something is out of whack, something that's in need of repair or movement or change, right? So you got
yes,
to have
yes.
an awareness. That awareness comes first. Then after the awareness, there has to be, we don't like this, conflict.
Mm,
See,
mm-mm.
if there's awareness but there's no conflict, there's no change. There's
Wow.
got to be some kind of conflict. There's got to be a conflict between your where you are and where you want to be, or how you've been believing and being and showing up, and how you want to show up, or how God wants you to show up. There's a conflict that takes place, and people avoid conflict, but conflict is necessary for true change and transformation, right? So there has
Right.
to be awareness, there has to be conflict, and then after the conflict, there has to be a willingness. A
Wow.
willingness. We got to submit. We got to willingly submit to God to allow him to reveal those things about us. I'm not talking about nobody else. I'm going to listen to me for just 1 minute. I'm not talking about him revealing to us stuff about someone else. I'm talking about him revealing stuff to us about us.
Right. Right.
So we've
Wow.
got awareness, we've got conflict, and we've got the revelation of who we are, where we are, and what's going on with us. And then after there is that revelation, there has to be a submission to the process. We got to submit willingly to the process. We got to submit to the process. Why? Because God is a gentleman.
Wow.
He's
Yes,
not
he.
going to make us do it.
Mm.
But if we're willing to do it, if we're willing to go
Yeah.
through it, then he can take us on the journey. Now that we've submitted, now comes the fun part. After we submit, the fun part is this. It is God laying bare those things, those places that we've covered, those things that we've held on to, like whatever those things are, God has to lay them bare. He has to lay them bare, and we've got to look at them. We've got to face them. We've got to dig up the root of them so that a true transformation can occur. Because unless you dig up the root, you'll forever just have a Band-Aid on. You'll forever find yourself going back to that place. See, that's how I can have been married 5 times. You see what I'm saying?
Yes.
Because there were some things that I thought I had dealt with that it was deeper than what I thought.
Yes, yes.
And I had to come to a place where he could reveal what that root was. And just this week, matter of fact, just yesterday, he revealed to me the root so that I could deal with it.
Wow. Wow. So let me ask you this. When you say you went through the process with the awareness, with the conflict, and you had to submit, and then he actually revealed to you, now you got to be obedient because he can reveal all these things to you. Now, until you actually be obedient to the call, be obedient to the purpose, be obedient to what he's showing you, then you can move forward. But what actually, because I'm quite sure there might have been some times where he might have kind of like knocked on your door and be like, look, Dr. B, look, that right there. But we know we weren't open to hear. So what puts you in a place now to be even open to hear what he's telling you, to actually to allow you to be able to notice why, okay, this is what error came in at, and this is what I need to do now. What happened? What actually changed you in this state of mind that you're in now?
I'll be honest. I don't think it was a thing. I think it was several things.
Okay.
I think it was being desperate.
Okay.
For change, being desperate for more, being desperate for. See, listen, I'm good at giving God permission in all these areas of my life, except the one I needed him the most, and that's relationships. I felt like I can trust you with my finances, my health, my spirituality. I can trust you with my children and my grandchildren, but God, I can't trust you with this. I don't know if you're going to get this right. I don't know if you're going to get this. I know I ain't got it right. But I don't know if you're going to get this one right. I'm a little nervous about this one. Okay.
Right.
And so I really had to trust him with the thing that I desired most, which was to be a wife. It's my greatest heart's desire. And people will look at me and say, well, you've been married 5 times. Well, you don't value marriage. No, the issue is I value being married so much that I struggle with being single. I struggle with that time when I'm not a wife. Like, who am I when I'm not a wife? You know? Right. And so this time I said, God, listen, I can't be Elizabeth Taylor. 5 is enough. Now listen, I can do one more, God, but listen, I'm not gonna beat the woman at the well. I'm not beating the woman at the well. Okay. And I really finally just gave over to him that area and my fear of what he was going to reveal. I was scared. Wow. I was scared to really get to the root of what was going on. I thought I was at the root. Oh, you know, I've dealt with this. Oh, it's my daddy issues, right? You know, right. Oh, and I've talked to my dad. My dad and I now have a great relationship. Everything's good. Yeah. But it was something deeper than that. And I didn't even realize it. But because I literally, God sent someone into my life to be that person to ask me the tough questions. Wow. That I would finally open myself up to and say, okay, this is why this, or this is why that. And then they would probe a little more. And I'd be like, well, this is this. And then they probe a little more. Now, listen, you asking too many questions now. Why are you asking all these questions? You know, this too much. You doing too much. Wow. But God needed someone to be able to guide me through the process and to really help me to open up in a way and in a place that was safe. Wow. Where I wouldn't feel judged, where I wouldn't feel like it was going to be used against me, where I could really explore it and be okay with exploring it and know that there was no judgment there. Yes. And that really was the thing that allowed me to work through the process.
Wow. That's amazing. That's amazing. And I hear you when you say it's like, basically you actually put yourself in a mindset where it's now I'm ready to do the work. Because we have to do the work. I don't care how we try to get around it. God can bring us a word. He can bring Paul, Saul, John. He can bring all of them and sit them right in your living room. And until we actually say, you know what, like you got sick and tired of being sick and tired. You're like, look, wait a minute, hold up, God. I've been married 5 times. Look, We're gonna get this thing together. Okay, what
Come
am I
on.
doing? What am I doing wrong? What is it that I'm really missing? What is it
Right.
that I really need to do this time that I didn't do the other times? I'm ready.
Come on.
I'm really ready to get this
Yes.
thing right. And we just have to
Yes.
be honest with ourselves, because a lot of times we'll do things around other people, but you can't fake around God. God know who you
Right.
know you better than you know yourself, right?
That's
So
right.
you begin to actually become open. Like someone said, Miss Roger said, transparency. Come on here.
Mm-hmm.
You begin to
Mm-hmm.
be open and be transparent. God already knew who you was anyway, but you actually begin to be open, like, okay, God, this is what I need. I need boom, boom, boom. I'm sick of boom, boom, boom. We gotta get this thing. What do I need to do this time? It's the
Yes.
time season. I want to be a wife. This is what I want. That's why I got married 5 times. I want to be a wife. I really want to be a
Right.
wife. But guess
Right.
what? Okay, I want to do it right this time. Where did I
Mm-hmm.
err at those last times? Now I'm really ready to sit down and do the work on me so I can be the best wife for my spouse. And that's amazing, because a lot of times we don't like to do the work on ourselves. We'll actually put up a whole list of everything we want in someone. God, I want this in a man. He got to be tall, dark, handsome, bald head, boom, boom, boom.
Girl,
These
why you describing my husband, girl? Why you describing him?
yes. We got the list together. What all we want in this man? What our husband do? He got to do this. He got to make this. But then, where are you with you? Because you want this man that's supposed to be set your soul on fire. But when it comes down to you as an individual, where are you? Because guess what? God didn't want to put that man with no mess. So we have to decide, okay, God, where am I? What do I need to do? Because I need to get me together, because I need you to go and bring him to me. That room right there. I need you to bring him to me. So what do I need to do to get me together? Because I ain't gonna do this no more. This is it. We ain't gonna do this no more. I'm gonna need you to come on here and get this thing together with me. So, and I'm just glad that you're honest and you're transparent about what's going on with yourself, because a lot of people need to know that it's never too late. It's never too late. God has a plan and purpose for each and every one of us. I don't care if you're 80 years old. If you
That's
have
it.
not fulfilled your purpose and you are still on this land of living, he
Yes.
still has a purpose and a plan for each and every one of us. And that's what we just have to realize. I don't care how old you are. I don't care how young you are. God can use anything. Anytime you can use well, he can use a horse. He can use a fish. He can use anybody. Okay.
Yes.
So I'm just excited, Dr. V, that you was actually open to even to reveal that information to us, because somebody needed to hear that. Somebody needed to know that it's never too late. I don't care how old you may think you may be, and like you still want to be married. And some people may have not got married at all, but that does not mean that their spouse is not out there. So we just
That's
have to
right.
think about, like what you said. Okay, God, what do I need to do with me? I'm ready to deal with me now. I'm ready to do the work on me. So when that big old list that you got with how you want your husband to be, then you can actually be ready for that person. Because a lot of times we don't be ready for that person. We got this list made out. Oh, he got to be this way. But then when you think about God, like, I'm not going to put you with that. I need you to do this. And then we go on our own accord, and we get that anaconda. Look, we get that the one that looked like some of the stuff we have on our list, and it's like he changed some shades on you. What's that animal changed some shades on you? And you looking like,
Listen.
wow, I thought it was this, but now, ooh, I messed up. I messed up.
And I'm gonna tell you, Dr. Shalandia, this is the thing though. This is what God revealed to me. Um, he revealed several things. First of all, he revealed that I was choosing men who, if it didn't work out, I'd be okay.
Wow. Okay.
I'm good. They were more invested in it than I was. I was
That,
invested in it. But
that.
see, this is what I had to come to grips with the fact that I made a declaration when I was about 12 or 13 years old. I said, because of what I saw my grandmother go through, my aunts go through, and my mother go through with men in their life, I said, I will never allow a man to have so much access to my life that if he leaves, that I'm devastated and I can't go on. I'll never allow that. I made that vow when I was about 12 or 13 years old, right? And then, hey, I'm married, but they didn't have my heart. And then there was one, and it's the one I didn't marry. I always talk about my 5+1. The plus one is the one that I didn't marry, but he was the
Right.
one that was always running in the background of every other relationship after him. He was the one that, you know, it wasn't even that I compared them to him consciously, because there was no comparison. I didn't pick people that were even remotely close to being what he was or who he was in my life. So they never really had full access to my heart. And that was the painful revelation that I had to make this week, was that I did them a disservice, because they never could have me. Because even though we were not together, he still had my heart. My heart was still with him. And it was only this week, and we did a show. We did a show about our relationship. I encourage you all to go listen to it. But we did a show about our relationship and looking at relationships. We had a great time, but it opened some stuff up for me. And I had to acknowledge that I still loved him, that I still loved him. I was still in love with him, that he still had my heart, that no one else has had it like he had it. And when I did that, God said, okay, now I can work with you. And so as he did that, what God began to show me is it's just like a computer. With the computer, you have some programs that are running in the background. It doesn't matter what application you open up. You can work in that application. You can function in that application. But at the end of the day, there's some programs that are running in the background that are drawing energy from everything else. It's limiting your capacity, because it's just running in the background. So here we were, he was running in the background. Our relationship was running in the background. My regrets were running in the background. While I'm saying I'm good, you know, while I'm saying, you know, I'm over it, while I'm saying these things, it wasn't the truth. The truth was I loved him. I love him. It wasn't going anywhere. And no one could really access my heart the way he had accessed my heart. And when he accessed my heart, I got hurt. He cheated on me. And so that was another layer. Go back to my vow. Oh, now I really am not getting ready to let them have all of me. No, because I see what this gets me. But this is what God did for me this week. And this is what I want to encourage people with. Listen, what God did for me this week was he said, okay, so you've made that recognition. You've acknowledged that. Okay, now let me take it a step further. Because love is not conditional. So on Sunday, I was preaching, and he said, go to the book of Hosea. I said, why he got to take me to the whole book? The book where the man got to marry the hoe, go get the hoe, buy the hoe, got the kids from the hoe that ain't even his kids. The whole book. Hosea. Hosea. Okay? He took me to the book of Hosea, and then while we were on Valentine's Day, I was talking about this unconditional love like God loves, this unconditional love that is what we're supposed to give. But the truth of the matter is, most of the time we don't give that unconditional love. Our love comes with conditions. Because if somebody had done that to us, we'd have been like, oh, that hoe got to go. No, I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that. But what God said was, listen, now I need you to look at that relationship. And I need you to look at it from the lens of Hosea. You didn't lose anything. You didn't lose anything. And so I began to think about love and what love means to me, and began to take the conditions off. And so I was able to say to him, we've had several conversations since then. And I told him, I love you. I'll always love you. Like, you have a very special place in my heart. But this was the beautiful thing. Now, I promise you, I thought we were going to be reunited and it feels so good. Oh, I just knew that was going to happen. Girl, he finally single and I'm single. We both single at the same time. I was like, oh, this is going to be it, honey. Yes, honey. I'm here for it. And it wasn't that. When I released all of that, when I acknowledged all of that, I released him, because he's never been married. And I've been married 5 times. So I told him we're 2 sides of the same coin. He just responded to it differently than I did. We were looking for someone who would give us what we had in our relationship. And when you don't find that, you either don't get married, or you get married and you be like, okay, I settled. I settled. I said, well, I'll never find this, right? And so God said, we're not doing this. So this is the last time we're doing this, okay? And so I got a release, and it felt so good. And I knew I had a release when I began to talk to him and prophesy to him about his wife, who I see life being, right? Like, that's huge, because most of the time when we would talk to his girlfriends, I'd be like, I don't want to know that hoe.
Yes. Yes.
For what?
Yes.
I'm not finna be fake. Smiling
Right.
in my face.
Right.
Because I know
Right.
I want a man.
That's
I'm not
it.
doing that.
Wow.
I finally got to the point where I could release him. And that was the powerful thing. That was the powerful thing. And then I discovered that at the core of everything, what I thought it was wasn't what it was. Like, I thought that issues came from my dad, right?
Right.
And we think of daddy issues, but my dad was always in my life. He got me every weekend, but he was really critical. But my dad and I are good. Like, we have a great relationship now. We've talked, we've processed through some stuff, but it wasn't him. See, I did that with my daddy, but I didn't do it with the one man that was the first man I ever loved and the first man to break my heart.
Wow.
And that was my grandfather, the one who raised me.
Wow.
See, the truth of the matter is, my heart was broken when I realized that he wasn't the man I thought he was. When I saw some things that I never spoke about. When I discovered some things that let me know that he was human. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And that was the real heartbreak that I had to recover from. So the Facebook prophets, Facebook have prophets, girl. The Facebook prophets.
Yes.
Said, who's walking with you in 2021? And it came up my grandfather.
Wow.
It's never been him. It's always my grandmother. It's always my grandmother. Right. See, God knew for this healing, it had to be him, right? Because I had to forgive him. I had to accept him for the man that he was. Amazing man, not always a great husband, right? But he loved his family. And so I had to process through all of that and release him. And in the midst of all of that, my dad is currently in the hospital. So it was like a lot of things going on at the same time that's required me to just get honest and really deal with the root of things. But I promise you, when I realized that my first real heartbreak came from my grandfather, that freed me.
Wow.
You got to understand, this man, I could do no wrong. I could do no wrong in his eyes. I remember being a little girl, and my mom and my brothers and I all slept in the same bed. I grew up in a 3-room house with no indoor plumbing, okay? And so we all were in the same bed. In the middle room, my grandparents were in the living room, which was their bedroom also. And I remember peeing in the bed. I had peed in the bed. I was wet. And I got up and I went in there. I said, Daddy, I peed in the bed. He said, I peed in the bed. And he said, oh, don't cry, don't cry, don't cry, don't cry. Look over there in the drawer and get you some clean panties. Get you some clean panties. I'm saying, I peed in the bed. So he changed my panties. He put my other ones in the dirty clothes, put them somewhere. And he said, now just don't say nothing. Don't say nothing. Don't say nothing. So the next morning, they talked about, my mom said, who peed in the bed? And I done got in the bed with my grandparents. And she said, did you pee in the bed? My granny said, leave the girl alone. They ain't peed in no bed. Them boys peed in the bed.
Boys, wow.
My brothers got a whooping behind that mess.
Are you serious?
They got a whooping. They got a whooping. My granddaddy looked at me like, you better not say nothing.
Wow.
But this is the man who protected me.
Yeah.
This was the man that I looked up to.
Yeah.
And when I realized at 13 that he was cheating on my grandmother, when I saw it struck at the woman's house,
wow.
That was the beginning of my heartbreak. And when he had come home one night and had been drinking, and my grandmother just asked him, where you been? And he went off on her and he hit her.
Wow.
And nobody ever knew that I witnessed that. Nobody ever knew that I was in the house when that happened.
Mm.
Put my head under the covers and I acted like I couldn't hear it,
Mm.
but I heard it. Nothing
Yes.
could take that away. Nothing could erase it.
Mm.
And in that moment, my heart was broken because the man that I had looked up to, the man that I just thought was perfect,
Mm.
I realized he wasn't.
Yes.
And then I deflected all of my anger to my grandmother. Why would you stay with him? Why would you stay with him and you know this? Why would you stay with him and he did this to you? Why would you stay with him?
Wow.
So I became angry at her
Mm.
for staying.
Wow.
So when I look at the journey, if I didn't shift, Dr. Shalandi, I'm telling you, there was no way I would ever be able to have a healthy marriage. And it doesn't matter how much I submit, and it doesn't matter how much it looks like. None of that would have mattered because they never would have had access to my heart, because I would ultimately be afraid, not that they would do me like that boyfriend did, but that they would do me like my grandfather did my grandmother.
Wow. Wow.
And
Yeah.
not because he didn't love her. He loved her. They
Right.
loved each other.
Yes. Wow. Wow. So no, a lot of times we have traumatic instances that occur in our lives, and those traumatic things that we really need to seek help and guidance on. I know most of the time in our culture, in our communities, we tend to brush things, and the first thing we say is what happens in the house stays in the house. You better not
Yes,
tell nobody. This the
yes,
family secret. Just don't go no further
yes,
than right. So we
yes.
tend to brush those things under the table, but actually those are the things that we needed to seek help on. And even with the church don't want to discuss it, your parents don't want to discuss it. So now you're older and you still dealing with these demons, these things that never got dealt with before. So what do you recommend for that individual who have no one to go to? They have
Mhm.
no one to talk to. They have not been through therapy. Only thing they know, they just feel like they're stuck. They just feel like God is doing something new in them. They just don't know what to do. What do you suggest for that individual?
Listen, listen, I believe in therapy. I
Right.
believe in therapy. But can I tell you something? Sometimes therapy will just have you in therapy for years, right?
Yeah.
See,
Right.
when you need a breakthrough,
Right.
you got to be in a place where you're with people who understand the
Right.
kind of breakthrough that you need, who know the questions to ask. And I'm not talking
Right.
about the questions that are in the textbook, right?
Right.
But the truth of the matter is the textbook is written by practitioners, people
Right.
who are practicing, right?
Right.
The reality is when you've gone through a thing, you get a new level of understanding, a new understanding. I'll tell you something. This whole experience, now that I've had this experience, I can walk somebody through it. You
Right.
understand? So this
Right.
is what I did. So what I did was I partnered with the person who helped me walk through it. And
Gotcha.
I said, listen, we need to do this for people. People need this in this
Right.
area of their life, because I know I'm not the only person struggling with relationships. I know I'm
Right.
not, right?
Right.
And so what we did was we partnered and we came up with a program called From X to Next,
Mm.
taking a true healing journey for your
Wow.
future. Because
Wow.
that's really what it is. There's something that's in our life that has prevented us from being able to move forward into our next relationship in a healthy way.
Wow.
And you got to find someone and something who will
Yeah.
be able to help you, a mentor, a coach, someone who can walk you through it.
Through the
Because that's
process.
what, listen, I'm gonna
Mhm.
tell you something. I'll be sick of the church, talking about, well, just pray. Do you think that I ain't prayed already? You thought I hadn't prayed. You thought I was just out here in these streets not praying. You, you listen, think about this.
Wow.
I've
Yes.
been married 5 times.
Yes.
I'm a pastor. You
Yes.
understand? I've
Yes.
talked to people. I've
Yes.
gone to therapy. I've done all of those things, and those things didn't get me to freedom.
Mm.
In 2 weeks, working with someone with an anointing, we were able to get a breakthrough that I couldn't get through in over 20 years.
Wow.
In 2 weeks.
Wow. Wow.
So
That's a
it's not about the length of time. It's about the anointing to break yokes. It's the anointing. It's the anointing that breaks yokes. And the crazy thing is this. And all of the time that I've gone to therapists and talked to therapists about my life, about growing to all of that, no one ever uncovered that. And as self-aware as I am, because I'm self-aware, I look at me, I want to understand. I've been on this whole journey to understand. And it's like God allowed me to go level by level by level by level. He didn't do it all at once. He knew I wouldn't be able to handle it. He knew it would break me down. I'd be in the bed somewhere, just like rolled up with my thumb in my mouth, right? Talking about, I don't want to get up. I don't want to get up.
Right.
He knew. And so he said, listen, I know that I've got to position her where there's someone who can help her walk through it, who will not judge, who will support, who will encourage. But this is the other thing, but will also be a man that don't want nothing from her.
Wow. Wow.
So that's another part. God showed me that in order for you to really heal from wounds inflicted by someone of the opposite sex, you got to kind of walk through that with someone of that sex. Like it's difficult to do that because so often people in positions of authority and power will use that and abuse it, or it'll end up being something that it wasn't intended to be.
Right.
Because it gets confused. So that's why we decided to partner, because that way there's an extra level of accountability, an extra set of eyes, extra insight.
Right.
Because he can talk about it from the side, his side, right? I can talk about it from my side, and we can work together to help people get on the other side.
Right. Wow. That's awesome. That is awesome. And I can see, as you're giving us your story, I can see the transformation and how he utilized that gentleman, how he used his gift, his anointing to bring you from point A to B to C to D until you was able to see, voila, God, now I see why I was like I was.
Yes.
Now I can be my best self now. And it's a continual work as well. It's a continual work. Like, okay, God, I see where I am. Now I got to keep this thing going. That's awesome. And that's amazing. Oh my God, this is so good. And you guys, if this has been good to your spirit, like not your spirit, but your spirit, if this has been good to your spirit, give Dr. V some heart. Show her some love. Oh my God, for her being so transparent and just so honest with what God is doing with her and her life. Because a lot of people, they're not going to tell you this information. They're going to keep it because that's what they've grown up with, and their parents look. You will stay. What happens here stays here, and they're not able to. A lot of them are still going through it. They don't even know how to come out of it. That's why when I did this post, I was like, you may feel like you're stuck. Like you may feel like you are so emotional, because I do know when you're going through the shift, it's like you're up one day, you're down one day, you're happy one day, you're sad one day, you're this one day, and then you're like, you know what? I need help. So now you feel like, okay, now you start seeking God. Now I'm sick and tired of being sick and tired. And I'm quite sure there may be some of you out there with the same situation and maybe going through the same thing, that you may need someone to assist you. Well, guess what? God has brought Dr. V to us today to give us an answer, to give us a clue. Like she said, herself and this gentleman has put together a program to be able to assist you. So make sure you reach out to her and let her know if there's anything that she may be able to help you with, because like I tell people, what my mantra has been for the last few years is that your pain has purpose.
Yes.
Don't waste your pain.
Don't
waste your pain. Everything that God has allowed for you to go through in your journey, it was for a purpose. And and it basically wasn't for you, it was for someone else. There is someone else that Dr. B has to come across that she's going to be able to help come through this whole process. And that's a good thing. Like she said, she did it all. She did the pastors and the preachers and the church and the therapist. She did it all. But God had to send her that one individual. When she found, was like, God, I'm sick. And that's like, this is saying they have, like, when the student is ready, the teacher show up.
Yes.
Come on, when the student is ready, the teacher show up. And oh my God, he showed up.
But listen, know that you don't always like the teacher. Like, I don't like you right now. I don't like you.
Right.
And that's, it's so funny because I'm that person for so many people. And when you're that person for so many people, it's hard to find people to be that person for you, right?
Yes.
I was like, I can't stand you. I can't stand you right now. knowing that what he said was absolutely correct, right? Knowing it was what I would say to someone, but
yeah, the tables turned now. Yeah.
Absolutely turned.
Right.
Absolutely.
Right.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Wow. That's amazing. That's amazing, guys. I really enjoyed this conversation that we've had here this evening. This has been truly amazing. It has really touched my heart, and I hope that you all have been touched as well. I see there are a lot of people that are making comments saying they are so happy for your transparency. They are so glad that you've been honest, because there are a lot of people that need to hear this. So what all I ask for you all to do is please share this out. Please share this on your live feed, because there may be someone you may know that may not have no one they can talk to about the situation. Dr. V has set together or put together a program that will be able to assist you with things like this. Is there a website or is there a link or something you want to share with the people where they may
Listen,
go?
just get in my inbox. When I tell you we literally just put this together, like we literally just put this together yesterday. I was like, we need to do this. Like, we need to do this. This is amazing. And so for God to set it up for me to be here, to even be talking about it right now, I'm like, Lord, this fast.
Brand new, straight off the press.
Straight off the press. But it's fire. It's fire. It's proven. And this is what I know. I know that if it worked with me,
right,
with all the walls and blockages and barriers and all that stuff, all the years and decades, that, man, this is getting ready to really revolutionize people's lives and get them to a state of freedom, because that's what it's all about. It's about freedom. It's about being free. It's about getting free.
Wow.
I see the website in the making. Go ahead, Anne-Marie. I see you too, girl.
That's our girl, Ed. That's our girl.
I know, girl.
Oh, wow. This is amazing. I'm super excited this evening, you guys. Just remember to share this out. Like she said, get in her inbox. So there's someone, it may be yourself, or it may be someone that you may know that may need this type of coaching, this type of mentorship, this type of direction. They need guidance on what can they do to come out of this place. Get in touch with Dr. V. Get in her inbox. She's on social media. She's on Facebook. We're on Facebook right now. So you can reach out to her, Dr. Veronica Walters, on her page. You can find her. Guess what? If you can't find her, let me know. I direct it to her. We'll get her for you. But I just want you all to know, just be safe out here in these streets, because
in these
streets. You got a lot going on out here in these streets. Just be safe, and just know that God will send someone in your path. When the student is ready, the teacher always show up. And I tell people that all the time. A lot of times we may feel like we be ready for something, we ain't ready. We be like, we still playing game. You still stop playing. You ain't ready. But when you really get ready, like you was really like, you know what, God, I'm tired of this. I like, look, you sick and tired of being sick and tired. Now you actually showed up. You are so welcome, Ms. Carrie. You are so welcome. When you sick and tired of being sick and tired, you like, no, okay, God, okay, now I'm ready. I'm ready. I'm ready for my true transformation. This transformation, I can see it all over you. It has been truly a blessing to your soul. It's like when you have those soulful deliverances, it's like it just shines within. It's like I see a glow on you. It's like it just shines within your whole being. You look like freedom, like
girl,
free, like, whoo, Jesus, I thank you, I'm free.
Yes,
and that's great. I see it all on you guys, and I see her. I mean, she is an awesome woman of God, and God just has been using her tremendously on the platform that she's. I mean, it's just amazing. I just love just watching her throughout this whole process. And guess what? Y'all can have the same deliverance. You all can have the same thing, the same transformations. And I know when I was looking up this information as far as with transformation goes, a lot of times we all have potential, right? We all have that untapped potential. But a lot of times we're not ready to make that shift to that next place that God is having us. Like there was another place that Dr. V wanted to go, but there were some things she had to take care of in the place that she was in. Now she's able to shift to their place now that God has her to be. And I guess I know that there may be plenty of you out there as well that's ready to shift, and you just need that help. You just need that guidance. Well, you got the help. The doctor has shown up here to give you your prescription for kingdom living. That's what I'm talking about, Dr. V. I appreciate you again for coming out and sharing this. And remember, you guys, if there's anyone that you think that may need this information, please share this out. Like, don't be stingy. Don't be stingy. Share this out with people that you know can benefit from this, because this has really blessed my spirit this evening, and I'm quite sure that it's going to bless you all as well, and somebody else that may need to see this. It needs to continue to go on and on, because so many people out there hurting. So many people out there just going through these things in life. Like we got these things going on now in the world with Texas and Louisiana. I mean, just so
Yes.
many places that are going through this trauma, you know, and there are people in place. God is going to place you around those right people. And I remember when Dr. V and I had this conversation about being able to shift, even to be able to be in that right circle of people. You
Yes.
know, God will place you in that right circle of people to get you what you need. And it's not always, it may not be about you, but it may be about what that person may need. Like she said, she was like worried about, well, I'm always giving. Okay, now who will be able to help me now? And God will place you in a predicament where now there's someone to help you.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so just be open and just be willing to receive whatever. And it might come out, it might not be the norm. So sometimes, you know, we be complacent, be like, you know what, this ain't how God, I ain't used to God doing it like this.
Yes.
I'm used to God doing it like boom, boom, boom.
Yes.
But he done went all that feel on you. He done came over here and you look like, God, is that you? Because that's not what you used to. And I'm just excited that he's doing the work in all of us, you guys. He's
Yes,
doing the
he
work
is.
in each and every one of us. And I'm just excited. Dr. Veer, is there anything else you want to share with the people? Are there any last words you want to share?
Absolutely. Listen, shift.
Yes.
Because staying where you are and not being happy where you are is not worth it. Go through the necessary changes. And in the words of Iyanla Van Zandt, because I like to give her credit, right? Do the work, beloved.
Do the
Do
work.
the
Do the
work.
work. That's right. Do the work. And she definitely does the work. And make
Yes,
sure you do the work as well. Wow.
yes,
Wow. That's exciting. I'm just glad to know that each and every one of y'all took time out of your busy schedules this evening to be able to share this moment with Dr. B and myself, because you guys, I'm excited that God is doing a new work in each and every one of us. But we do have to be able to do the work. We can't, nobody else, our mama can't do the work for us, our parents can't do the work, our kids can't do the work, our pastors can't do the work. We have to do the work ourselves. And I'm just so excited that she even mentioned that we have to do the work. And God put people in your place, in your path, to make sure you get that work done. Oh my God. She said she received. Awesome. Awesome. God is amazing, you guys. And I just think this episode really blessed a lot of people. And I'm excited for what the next shift is in each and every one of you all's life. And if you notice some things that are going on, hit Dr. B up like, Dr. B, Holy Ghost was on it. Holy Ghost was on it. He showed up. Let her know. And that, because a lot of times as believers, we just forget to let other people know that God is doing something. It's like, let that person know, like, you really blessed, you know, like they really bless your soul. Like your being has been truly blessed. And I'm excited about the strength and unity. That's correct, Miss Carrie. That is absolutely correct. There are strength and unity. It's all about the numbers. And if we know that we can help someone and then we can gear them to the right people they need to go to, we have a whole lot more healing going on in
yes.
the world today. And it's all about healing our souls, healing our being, healing our minds, because our mindset is very important as well, because we can go way off the bend sometimes with this mindset thing. We're like, woo, I ain't even thinking straight. So
Right.
excited, you guys, that you are tuned in with us. And this has been an awesome broadcast. Again, Dr. B, thank you for tuning in. Thank you for coming on this platform and sharing this with this audience. And thank your people for coming on as well to support you. So I'd like to thank all of Dr. B people that came on here this evening to support her. Thank you, thank you, thank you so much. And do not let this be the last time that you all show up here on Kingdom Talk. We show up live here every Friday at 7 o'clock p.m. Central Standard Time. So we try to have discussions and conversation like this that can give you that prescription for kingdom living. Because I know God is using this platform as the mediator, as that open space that you may not be able to get anywhere, that you may not be able to get anywhere else. So I'm excited about it, you guys. So stay tuned for next Friday and see who our awesome guests will be. And guess what? If you have any questions, make sure you reach out to us. I've also developed a community, you guys. Facebook.com. Well, I think I have on here. Facebook.com groups, Kingdom Talk community. So that way you may have something on your heart. Dr. V, I'm gonna ask her to join in the community, whereas you may feel like there may be some things you may want to discuss and you cannot discuss them on here. That's a-okay. You can join in the community, click on the link. We'll be more than happy to have you there. And Dr. V can come over. You all can have some one-on-ones and we can have some discussions. We can keep it going. I'm super excited. Like I said, well, God got to do what he got to do. He got to do what he got to do. So
Yes.
I'm super excited about that, you guys. Again, stay tuned and be blessed for the next Friday. And Dr. B, you also have some more things going on. Let the people know other things that you have going on right now.
Oh my goodness. So I have so much going on. Listen, you
Tell
guys.
us.
So I've launched my Billionaire Boss book coaching program. If you have a story to tell and you're needing to tell your story, you need help telling the story, absolutely join us. We meet tomorrow is our first official class from 10 to 12 Eastern Standard Time, but you can still join in. There's still time to participate. So if you've got a story, you've got that. Then I've got my flow coaching program where I help you identify where you are in the 5 dimensions of your life, how you get balance in your life, how you're able to do a lot of different things, because I do a lot of things, right? A lot of things, right? And so that program is launching on Sunday. So this weekend is a big weekend for me. So Dr. Shalandia, thank you for kicking off my weekend of launches all weekend long. And then, of course, listen, them bars, y'all. Listen, Linda, listen. Them bars, y'all. Let me tell y'all about them bars, honey. Let me pull one out, honey, because you need a bar, honey. I'm trying to tell you. These bars, honey, these bars, 1044 Pro. And I'm going to say this real quickly. I'm not going to take long. But what I'm going to tell you is that this bar has absolutely revolutionized my life. It has allowed me to have energy without caffeine, without crash. But the other thing that it's done, and this company's done, is it has absolutely allowed me to make $1,000 in 24 hours, become a top money earner in 28 days, a top money earner in the company. It has been used as the shift, and that's a part of the shift, because when you start doing the work, God starts blessing and moving. And so I'm telling you, if you want more information about that, please definitely reach out to me and I'll give you that information, because I'm looking for some people who want change in their life, who want to use bars, baby. Y'all see me, y'all young, 54, with 7 children and grandchildren, honey.
Wow, look at her with the bars. I want her to say something about them bars. Oh my gosh. I love to hear her talk about those bars. Let me ask you this question. What all is in the bars? Because I think people need to know that. What's all that?
So this is the thing about the bar. The bar gives you energy, anti-aging, detox, immune booster, and electrolytes all in the bar. And the beauty of that is the energy comes from the carbohydrates in the bar. Now, we normally run from carbs, but these carbs are burnt up by a process called carbolin. And what carbolin does is takes the carbs, turns them into direct energy. You'll take one bite of the bar, and as you swallow it, you'll begin to feel energy. Now, you can think I'm exaggerating. Literally, my baby, my protege, who did my hair today, I said, baby, you got to try it. She tried it. She said, Mama, I feel something. I said, I know you do, boo. She said, well, maybe it's just in my mind. I said, no, it's not. It's not in your mind, baby. It's not in your mind. It's not in your mind. Miss Carrie, we got you. But yeah, so the immune booster has vitamin C, echinacea, and zinc in it. It has collagen, which is good for your skin. That's your anti-aging, good for your joints, inflammation, reduces inflammation, and it's good for heart health. It also has L-carnitine in it, which helps with energy and focus, your mind, your ability to be clear and think clearly. And I don't know what's in it that deals with mood, but something in it deals with mood, because I be so happy when I eat these bars, honey. These bars, honey. They make me happy, honey. And it's an amazing thing. So it's got 16 grams of protein. So it does have protein in it. It can be used as a meal replacement. So it can be a meal replacement bar. You can put it in your in a smoothie. You can heat it up in the microwave, honey. Have you like a little dessert. It doesn't taste like most protein bars taste. It's not cardboardy, but it is a great experience. It feels like dessert. It tastes like better than Reese's cup. I'm just
shut your mouth, girl. You can't. It can't be better than Reese's now.
Better than Reese's.
Come on, no.
Better than Reese's, and it only has 4 grams of sugar. So it doesn't cause sugar spikes. The people in our company and people who are customers who've used it, who are diabetic, they haven't experienced sugar spikes. And that was something that was big for them. So there were no sugar spikes. And y'all listen, all I can tell y'all is these bars and bands.
Make sure you all reach out to her. Make sure you all reach out to That's right. And those bars.
Yes.
Make sure you all reach out. Love your spirit and energy. Yes.
Thank you, Miss Carrie.
Yes, thank you again. Oh my God, this has been such a joyous time. just hearing your journey and knowing how God is transforming you from place to place, how He's shifting you spiritually, emotionally, psychologically, and financially. Because I watched your post when you was like, I just made this, I just made. So He's doing a total shift.
He
A
is.
total shift within you. And I'm excited to be on this journey to hear everything that's going on with you. Oh my God, this is amazing. Amazing, you guys. So guess what? We're not going to hold you guys too long. I know you all have enjoyed it. I have enjoyed it. I'm like this. I don't even want to go.
I
I
know.
don't even want to go.
Thank
But
you for inviting me.
you are so welcome.
I have enjoyed this. This has been amazing.
Yes, and you have to come back. You are part of the
Absolutely. Anytime.
You will definitely be back. So she will be back, you guys, another time, and I'll make sure we post and let you all know when she'll be back to speak to us again and give us and let us know where her journey is headed to next and what God has done with her from that point into then. I'm excited, you guys. So again, share this out. Let people know what God is doing. God is still in the moving business. He is still working it out. A lot of times we hear a lot of things when we say Satan is doing, Satan is doing, Satan is doing. But guess what? God is busy. God is doing what He needs to do on this earth
Yes.
to get us to where we need to be is what's going on. So I'm just excited to know that God is here. God is in place. He is putting His people in place as well. Again, thank you all so much. Thank you all so much for being here with us this evening on Kingdom Talk, and can't wait to see you all next week, same time, same place, here on Facebook, YouTube, and Periscope at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time. Again, you guys, next time, thank you all and be blessed.